Look, the best thing that could have happened to Roman Reigns was the pandemic, because before and you think is he
you're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
Because before the pandemic, nobody wanted him. Every time that he would be that he would wrestle in a crowd, after he got with the Shield, anytime that he would wrestle in front of live crowds, they would boo him.
Welcome back to the Rec Crew. Chesco. I'm here with ET. I'm here with Luis, and we got a special guest in the building. We got Josh. Josh, how's it going, man?
What's going on, guys? Good to be here.
Josh is a comedian. Who was your favorite wrestler growing up?
I would have to go either Stone Cold Steve Austin or probably Kane, but before he started taking his mask off, when he was like still like super spooky and like everybody was afraid of him and stuff.
To me, like when I was like really into it, it was like Goldberg.
Oh, that was a WCW. So you had cable?
No, I would always go to a friend's house to watch it.
Oh,
So
okay.
And Goldberg was in regular one. I think he was with.
He was on.
He was on WCW with Sting.
No. But afterwards, he was with somebody. Like he came back. He came back. I think.
Did you used to watch it religiously?
Yeah, when I was a kid. Yeah.
Like age range. I'm sorry.
Let me see. I was still living in an apartment, so I had to be maybe like around 9-ish to like maybe in a range from like 8 to 10, 8 to 11.
Oh, so it was a short period.
Yeah.
Mine was pretty long. I'm not gonna lie. Mine was from like 6 to like not 12, but like 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To the US
Mine was about
7.
the same. Mine was about the same, but I was really into it. I had like all the little action figures and stuff like that, and like I had some of them like, hey, don't open this box. It's a collector's item. I was a fan of that stuff.
Yeah. For me, I came to the US when I was 7. I used to watch Mexican wrestling.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
It's OG.
No, I remember that. Maybe it was a little. I'm thinking, how old was I in 2005, 6? Maybe I was a little older.
2005, 6.
Oh, it's 12,
you were like
13.
Yeah, 12, 13.
12, 13, yeah. So around that time, I remember it was like when SmackDown was on Fridays.
Yeah, still is.
Yeah.
Oh, it still is. But SmackDown was on Fridays, and
Raw's on Mondays.
in my room, I didn't have cable. But I remember, and on Fridays, I loved it because I didn't have to go to school the next day, and my uncle used to take me to McDonald's every Friday. So I used to love Fridays. And I don't know, because I did have cable. So I had like a perfect day on Fridays. My uncle used to take me to McDonald's. All the Disney Channel new shows came out on Friday.
Oh, that's so true.
Bro,
And the movies.
yes.
Yeah. So I would watch the new show, whatever it was, whatever I liked it, with Lizzie McGuire, whatever it was on Disney Channel. And then I would watch wrestling from like 7 to 9 or whatever it was. I would love Fridays. And then I would go play on Saturdays. So I would love it. And so we say that because we're gonna do.
Wait, you didn't even ask Luis. Yes.
But Luis, his age range is from what, 6 to 30?
I keep up with it now, but I don't watch it religiously. I watch it religiously probably through high school. So probably through 13 through 17, 18.
You used to watch it when you were like 20.
No, but I didn't watch it religiously. I kept up with it. So when it, like back in I don't know, 13, 14, 15, 16, I would watch like recaps of like the main things that happened, which is what I do now. I just kind of if there's anything, like if there's any news, I keep up with it. Like I know who the main event is at the WrestleMania, but I don't know any other fighters that are fighting, right?
Bro, you know my father-in-law till this day religiously watches Raw.
You know, Raw is 3 hours.
I'm
not
For real?
I'm not watching 3 hours. I have better things
Bro.
to do in my life.
Like this, bro. I kid you not. His daughter won like an award for something, and it was like on a wrestling day. He didn't go. He didn't go, bro.
Bro,
No,
that's dedication right there, man.
Yes, bro. Like
That is dedication.
there's times where like he's invited to whatever, He's not going.
That's like him. That's like us in fights.
Like, bro, like this guy, like he still has VHS of recordings of like SmackDown.
Bro, I used to do that same thing. I used to have just like a whole cabinet full of just all these VHS tapes that I would record. Like, oh, Stone Cold's gonna be fighting The Rock. I need to record that. And bro, I had a bunch of tapes.
I've been with my girl for a long time, bro. Ever since I've like known this guy, and this was back in the day. He would record every single episode. Yeah. But now there's a WWE one where you pay monthly, so you can watch them.
Oh yeah.
You know,
it's free if you have Peacock.
I don't know. But yeah, so my girl got him that, and so now that way she won't have to be recording him every time. And God forbid if you fuck with his recording, man. Like,
oh yeah, no.
Dog. Like, yeah, that's to me is like the most hilarious shit. Like, this guy's like almost fucking 60.
I don't know if it gives you nostalgia because like we're gonna do the WrestleMania watch along. Yeah. We're gonna be here for WrestleMania, and so we're gonna put this out.
Do the bra and panties matches?
No.
Oh no,
dude! Do you remember that? Who was it? No. Jerry the King Lawler used to love announcing those and everything on the sidelines. That was the shit.
No, man. Like I said, I started studying. Like, oh my god! Yesterday I spent like 3 hours just watching wrestling things, so I could catch up, so I could do a watch along. And I'm not gonna lie, halfway through, there is this funny guy. What's his name? Sami Zayn. Very funny guy. I liked him.
He's super entertaining.
And then
did you watch the Uzi thing?
Yeah, that was super fun. And then everything else was kind of corny, but I realized it's made for kids. Like, I get it. And but then I got caught up watching old rock stuff and things from like 1998 and 90s. And I love that stuff. I don't care how old it gets. It just brings me back.
I think that's what it is.
It's nostalgia.
Yeah, man. And then plus too, like I mean, I haven't kept up with any of the new stuff lately. I can't even probably name you any of the new guys, but man, I remember growing up. The whole just like it was a show. Like it wasn't just like okay, they're gonna get in the ring, they're gonna fight, and then like there was a whole performance leading up to it. The whole smack talking the week before. Yeah. Get building up to the fight.
Racist shit.
Yep.
It was very racist back then.
Bro,
you're a kid that you didn't really realize it.
Yeah, I guess maybe that's why I wouldn't
agree
with that. But
yeah, I have seen some clips where I've gone back and I'm like, how did nobody cancel this? I'm like,
just a kid.
The PC culture wasn't as prevalent back then.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't.
Politically correct.
Well, a PC culture like the fucking computer culture?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
No, what you call it? What was I gonna say?
Probably a lie.
Que tú sabes, chico, es una mentira.
But yeah, we're gonna be here for the WrestleMania watch along. So please.
Trish Stratus, bro, that was my favorite.
Bro, I forgot about Trish Stratus. She was bad. Do y'all remember Sable?
She made it to Playboy. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, final.
I was a kid, bro. I'm telling you, those were the good old days.
Back in the day, that's when divas like knew they made it because if they made it on Playboy, that's how they made it.
Hell yeah, bro.
Those were gold.
Yeah.
I remember at the gas station right by my house, it would have the magazines, and then of course it always had the Playboys behind it. And I remember seeing China on the cover of Playboy, and I was like, I don't think I want that one. I was like, you can give me Sable and all them, but I was like, I don't know if I want China. I don't know if I want China. I was like, I feel like she can whoop my ass.
Last question.
Like the Black China?
No. The wrestler, she was like.
You remember the one that used to come out with Triple H?
She used to come out with Triple H and all that.
I think she was his manager.
Yeah. And then
his
for a little while.
I thought it was Stephanie.
No, that's.
It was before her.
Before her.
China, was she fine?
No.
There was rumors that Triple H and her had dated, and that the reason why they fell apart was because of Stephanie McMahon.
Really?
I don't really blame him.
Wasn't China with Eddie Guerrero for a while or something like that? She would come out with
Eddie
him.
Guerrero. I miss Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah,
bro.
Eddie Guerrero.
Bro, I have a favorite one for like each like era. For me, Stone Cold Steve Austin is probably one of the GOATs.
To me, The Rock. I'm sorry. The Rock was the GOAT.
No, to him was Brock Lesnar. Or who?
No. to me, the GOAT.
Jericho.
The GOAT of wrestling is to me is Chris Jericho. But up there in the Mount Rushmore of we call it okay. Let's talk about that. Who is in the Mount Rushmore of wrestling for you?
For me,
yeah.
I'll put The Rock.
Okay.
Yeah, he has
Stone
to be up
Cold.
there. He has to be up there. Yeah.
Put Stone Cold.
Those two for sure.
I'm not gonna lie. This new guy, I know of him, and the only reason I put
Roman
him
Reigns.
exactly
Roman
him.
Reigns,
I
okay.
couldn't remember his name.
Okay.
But I know he's talking about.
That's the dude that's like sleeved out and he's
Yeah,
got like
yeah,
the
yeah.
long hair. Okay.
And my fourth is Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
Shawn Michaels was bad, but
HBK.
HBK.
okay,
Those are my
Heartbreak
four.
Kid was
The Rock,
Heartbreak
Stone
Kid
Cold,
was
Shawn
dope.
Michaels, and
Honorary mention. Who's your honorary mention?
honorary mention.
I kind of feel like you got to go Undertaker, man.
That's a good one.
I feel like
John Cena's up there.
So what ones you're naming are all popular, but they're when I think of the Mount Rushmore, I think of like the founders and
No, I did look at ability because the ones I was thinking were Chris Jericho and the Mount Rushmore. Who's the
Harvey.
him?
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
And there's one that I used to watch. I know he came to the WWE, but I never watched it anymore. I was too old. But I had stopped watching it, but I kind of caught up to it. Was called TNA.
Yeah.
And there was this guy who was so cool. He would always be jumping around and doing flips all over the place. And I know he came to the WWE.
AJ Styles?
I think it's him.
AJ Styles, probably.
But again, I wanted to say him, but I don't know his name like that. So
Look, for me, Hulk Hogan has to be on there.
but he sucked in the ring.
But we're not talking about ability. We're talking about
Y'all are forgetting Ric Flair, bro.
No, I didn't
I know
forget
you-
Ric Flair.
Look,
But to me, it's a
Nature Boy.
mixture of things. You have to be a superstar and be good in the ring.
because
Ric Flair.
to me it has
Yeah,
has to do with impact that made on wrestling.
Ric Flair.
The Rock.
I kind of feel like
And so Hulk Hogan.
I can think of like 5 to 10 people ahead of Chris Jericho.
I'm not gonna lie, Chris Jericho's not up there for
So
me.
that's what I was gonna say. Like, to me, he is the GOAT because of abilities of wrestling. I don't know if I put him on the Mount Rushmore.
Well, can I give you why and to try to be mine? All right. The Rock and Stone Cold turned WWE pop culture. That had never happened.
Right.
It turned it into mainstream.
Because going off of that, I remember whenever they would advertise how they were always fighting against each other, that was always the biggest fight. And then when Vince McMahon made them be tag team partners, it was like this huge controversy.
WWE got a full restaurant in Times Square. Like
It was a
became
big deal.
Mainstream. Those were the two guys that put it there. The biggest
A
thing
lot of that had to do with the Monday Night Wars, though.
that's where I was going. The catalyst to winning the Monday Night Wars was Shawn Michaels.
It was the D-Generation X.
Exactly.
But that includes Triple H.
That's
I would
Yeah.
put Triple H on my Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, Triple H is a
I
bad
chose
boy.
Shawn Michaels, but that's the reason
No,
why.
I would not put Shawn Michaels on.
'Cause he's
Now,
better.
He no.
In the ring, he's better.
I kind of feel
you're only talking about in-ring abilities.
No, but he was
I'm
the
talking about
leader.
impact to the
Triple H
business.
long hair was better.
I
He
feel
always
like
had long hair.
No, he has
No,
short
he
hair.
has short hair now.
He's bald, right? I think.
Yeah.
What now? How old is Triple H now? Like 80?
No, but
He's
he's
still, look at Undertaker. He still comes once a year. He still comes.
not anymore.
No, it's like he's like
he
the McGregor
officially
wrestling,
retired,
bro.
right?
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
But
No
look,
shit, he's like
Shawn
85.
Michaels at that time was a bigger star. He was always better in the ring, and he was the leader.
I feel like Shawn Michaels was just more of the showman, but I feel like you got to put Triple H above Shawn Michaels. If we're really getting down to out of those two.
So I'm talking about Mount Rushmore. If we're talking about in-ring abilities, maybe I give you
I
Shawn
just don't-
Michaels.
I'm not a fan. Don't get me wrong,
Alright.
but I just don't understand how the fuck you put Chris Jericho. I know who Chris Jericho is, but I don't know. I know who he is. I know lots of Jericho and everything. But like, why the fuck do you put him as your goat? I don't understand.
So Chris
Yeah, me
Jericho
too.
has been
It's
wrestling
like he's like
for
so average.
No,
Chris Jericho-
he's not. He's
Yes,
not
he is.
average.
And I'll tell you why. I'm
He's
sorry.
not,
He has
man.
never been the face of WWE.
But that's true. That's true.
Like never. You don't think of WWE superstars like Chris Jericho. You don't.
No.
Like you don't think of Chris Jericho selling out your arena. Like,
But here's where, and I give him some credit to what he said. He was never the face ever. Now
He's always been top mid card.
the thing is, he's always been at the top, and nobody's done it for that long.
Yeah, I'm not saying Chris Jericho ain't like dude's he's freaking bad. Like he's got it, but if we're going like old school and new school, it's just I do feel like if we're doing Mount Rushmore, that there are other people that should be on there before.
And this is
Chris
why I
Jericho.
put
And I
Roman
agree with
Reigns.
that.
And
And
this
Yeah.
is why I put Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns was the catalyst.
It's too soon to put Roman
He was the
Reigns on
face
record.
that made that company a billionaire.
No, he's not.
No, I'm not saying it was because of him, but
What about
when they
John
became
Cena?
a billionaire,
What about
he
John-
was the face.
What about John Cena?
He was gone by that time.
No, he wasn't.
John Cena hasn't been in wrestling for about
No, but
constantly for about over 5 years.
John Cena has been for
Yeah.
a very long time.
No,
No,
but
no,
I
no,
mean,
but
now he's on and on.
But yeah,
Now
it's
he's
like
on and
you're
on.
right. But he was there
Because he
through the
went to
billionaire.
Hollywood.
Exactly, that's why. No,
It's
or
like-
else-
it's like The Rock.
No, I'm saying they all contributed. I'm not saying that they're billionaires because of Roman
Look, the
Reigns.
best
I'm
thing
just
that could have happened to Roman Reigns was the pandemic, because before no, and you think is he gonna-
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Why?
because
Yeah.
before the pandemic, nobody wanted him. Every time that he would be that he would wrestle in
was with the
in a
Shield or
crowd,
whatever.
yeah. Oh, after he got with the Shield, anytime that he would wrestle in front of live crowds, they would boo him.
So
But they were pushing him as the face of the
They booed
company.
John Cena
They were
for years.
No, but they were pushing him
That's
as
not
a
true.
as a
They
face
were.
and a
John
heel.
Cena, no, they did.
nah.
They never, no,
No.
They did eventually boo John Cena.
Eventually.
no, but who
Yeah,
cares?
Yeah,
though?
because
I tell you why it matters. He was never able to get over with the crowd, which is what you need to happen for you to be at the top.
But he is now, right?
Right. Because of the pandemic. The pandemic took the crowd aspect out of it. So you had to the kids are impressionable. So they hear the booing, they say, I don't like this guy because of the kids. The hardcore fans didn't like him. He didn't develop his head of the table persona until the
He's
pandemic.
a bad guy now, right?
He's an anti-hero. That's what I would call him, an anti-hero. People love to
Yeah.
hate him.
So he's a bad guy.
But he's
you can't really call him that. That's like
he is doing the same thing that Randy Orton did in like 2010,
I don't know
where
what that is.
he was such a good bad guy for so long. People just started liking him.
That always happens. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That always happens. But what I'm saying, the guy. That's why I put him up there because, again, I don't think I'm this expert in wrestling. But when I see him, I'm like, the guy's very good at wrestling. Very good at wrestling.
No, but what you said too about the whole impressionable kids and everything like that, because they hear the booing. I mean, even if you look at, whenever I was a kid and I would see that, like when The Rock first came out, he was the bad guy when he first came out with WWF.
Talk about Rocky Maivia.
No, The Rock.
No, when he was The Rock, when he won the first championship,
with
he
The
was a
Rock-
bad
No,
guy.
but he
He
came out as a Rock as an anti-hero. Like
Yeah.
like, he wanted you to hate him. Like,
Yeah.
he came out as a heel. So no, not an anti-hero, as a heel. An anti-hero is Steve Austin. That's an anti-hero.
Yeah.
He's a bad guy, but you can't help but to like him.
Yeah, chugging those beers and beating up Vince McMahon and all that. Yeah, it's like
Anyways, I still say
Okay. Can you go? Why the fuck is Chris Jericho your fucking goat? Dude?
Chris Jericho
I don't understand.
has stayed
Like,
relevant.
can I give you an example? Like, it's like we all understand what.
so is he your Michael
It's
Jordan?
like saying Trevor.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like saying Trevor
That's
Ariza
a
is
great
your
example.
fucking goat.
That is a great
Like-
example.
like,
Look,
you know,
he,
it's-
because I don't know. You don't know who Trevor Ariza is. Trevor Ariza played in the NBA for about 16 years. Every team Trevor Ariza played for, automatic starter, automatic playoff team. Because the guy just did everything right. But he was a role player.
You're thinking about wrestling as a one-dimensional situation.
No, but I'm not. But I'm not saying he's one-dimensional, but he fits in it because he was never the superstar.
Now, how can he be a goat without
Yeah.
ever being a superstar? That's my question. Your goat has to be eventually. he
At
had
one
to be
point
a
in his
one
career as the
superstar.
superstar.
Nah, you maybe not. For
Okay,
me.
let me
not
ask
for
you
me.
this.
Go
Let me
ahead.
ask you this, and then like I'll let you speak because I do keep cutting you off. Name me any superstar, any goat in any sport that wasn't a superstar, and don't say Chris Jericho.
That doesn't
But it's so hard to compare wrestling to.
Why? UFC?
No, compared to UFC.
That's different though, because
Compared to
this isn't
boxing?
rigged.
No, but again, it's result based, and it doesn't matter who the superstar is.
Who-
John Jones is a superstar.
I would have said my initial name to have
Conor McGregor.
Okay, how about
was
Yeah.
Conor McGregor.
Yeah, cool.
He was a champion and a superstar.
But he was the champion. Now, there's a saying in wrestling is that the belt doesn't make you a champion. You make the belt. You make the belt worth what it is, right?
Okay.
He came into wrestling, and he has been able to, for a prolonged period of time, stay relevant in the wrestling business. I'm not talking about just WWE. I'm not talking about just AEW. I'm not talking about New Japan. I'm talking about in the wrestling business, he's been able to stay relevant. And in every situation, he has reinvented himself time and time again to be at the top. He was never at the top in WWE. Now, he was near the top.
Yeah.
I think he might have won. I might be
No,
wrong.
he's won championship.
But he has won champion, so he probably has been at the
he's
top.
one of the best.
He's never been the guy. I will give you
Exactly.
that. But he has been the guy at different promotions.
Who cares?
It matters.
No, it doesn't.
Because you're thinking about wrestling as a one.
Oh yeah, I am. I'm sorry. For
same
you to
thing.
be the GOAT of wrestling, you have to be where it matters. Like, I'm sorry. Just, you know how many people say there's been better players than Michael Jordan in France and Spain and in China, and we always said, who gives a damn? If you didn't do it here, it don't count.
Well, I give it to him.
Nobody can. Nobody will ever
You're
give.
asking me a more. I'm not even going to say.
Oh, so we're going back to the
wrestling fan.
perspective you're wrong type of thing.
I'm talking. You're going to ask me. I mean, I wouldn't call myself a hardcore fan, but I would say more along the hardcore fan spectrum. Somebody who has not studied but understands wrestling. Somebody who has kept up with wrestling throughout the years. Somebody who understands that there's different promotions. There's indies as well that play a big part into it. Everything that has to do with the wrestling business plays a part into it. I would put Triple H somewhere near the top as well as a GOAT. Why? Because you're right. He also had he was a star. But to me, what he's doing right now with the business matters more. Because he's making more of an impact right now in the business than he did as the top guy. He developed NXT. Now he's the head of creative, and he's the one that is pushing new talent outwards, and he's the one that's teaching them what they should be doing.
So
I didn't keep up.
that made no sense to me.
No. I get
All I
it.
heard was a lot of. That's all I heard.
No, so look, I get it. I do. I'm not gonna say Jericho's my GOAT, but
Nobody's gonna put Luis.
I can see where
Chris
you're
Jericho
coming
is
from.
not his GOAT. Meaning Chris Jericho is not Chris Jericho's GOAT.
It's like, but you know what it is. You know what it is? I remember Jericho back in like when he was teamed up with Christian and he went through like his goth emo vampire phase. And
What was? Is he the one with the Bible verse?
You're thinking about Edge.
fuck, that's Edge. My bad, bro.
He's not even thinking about Chris Jericho.
No,
Chris Jericho
well-
had long hair once.
Yeah.
He did have Chris
Easily
Jericho. Yeah, that's right. You're right.
Chris
My bad.
Jericho was great. Nobody's downplaying that. Now that he went and became a big fish in the small pond, how much credit do we give that?
No, but even when he has come back to the WWE, he has been able to stay at the top.
Absolutely.
To me, for example, right? To me, like I would put Brock Lesnar over Chris Jericho.
I wouldn't.
No, bro.
I wouldn't, but I'll tell you this. He has the same thing you said.
Like how can
The
you not
guy
put-
has left and came back and always been at the top.
And
But he's
left
never
and came back.
reinvented himself like Chris Jericho.
So,
has.
Well,
so
he's not the same Brock Lesnar we saw when he first got
Like,
here.
he said that
He's
he
made
was
one
funny now.
reinvention, and I will give you that. This reinvent. Have you seen Chris? Have you seen
Brock Lesnar now?
Brock
Yeah,
Lesnar? It's
I did.
completely different. Completely different.
I
than
didn't
the
see
Chris-
what you described, that
Just
he's
'cause he
this
has a fucking man
charismatic
bun?
speaker now, and I didn't see that.
compared to what he was doing, where he was basically saying nothing. Paul Heyman was speaking for him. Now he
Now he
actually has
just
some
speaks for
character.
himself, and it sucks.
But he has character, and man, it doesn't have to be great character, but he has a better character than.
No, but you told me he had
portrayed.
charisma and that he was
Oh, he
entertaining
does.
and
I don't know
funny.
what you're watching, so I can't tell you. Okay, this specific.
I didn't see
thing-
that. I saw
No.
a guy with a braid in the back. That's why he wears.
like the little.
I don't know, man. I think if you're gonna
not a hillbilly. He looked like a
Viking.
lumberjack.
He looks like-
you
yeah.
that. I told you that.
Brock Lesnar?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you were right.
Yeah, I know. I'm
So
always right.
I think if you're gonna like describe someone as the GOAT, they have to check all the boxes. They gotta
exactly
they gotta be awesome in the ring. They gotta have some kind of showmanship
Chris
or
Jericho has
some kind of presence that makes them stand out.
Skills has that.
Mike Skills, they
Charisma has it.
Yeah.
The only
ability
thing,
to stay relevant for a long
ability to stay
period of
relevant,
time.
And then it's like also to
Impact to the business.
great.
of course, you got to include that.
And he has to be the guy. And he
I don't know if
never the guy.
I don't know.
I
Look,
wouldn't include that in my thing.
Why? It's like it's the
no,
biggest
because
thing.
then there's so
It
many
means
people that
money.
get taken off the
There's
table
been
that
a lot
because
of
they're never the
people that
guy.
are Do you know who Ryback is?
Yes.
He's been the guy.
No. What?
Yes,
No.
he's been the top guy.
He's been a top guy.
Let me ask, what is your definition of the guy? Because I think that's where
The superstar of that era of those.
So like the face of that era.
Chris Jericho was up there
When? What year?
during the Attitude Era.
He was up there, but there was two guys that were just clear above
Way
him.
over him, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I said he's always been up there.
Like I think even when he was champion, he wasn't even.
No, that he wasn't. Like there's been a whole bunch of different guys who were champions, and like John Cena hasn't been.
Like you know how you said like
Yeah.
the guy makes the title, the title
Yeah.
doesn't make the guy. Like Chris Jericho won the title and he was still not the guy, bro.
Whoa,
That's not true.
Was he top 10, top 5? Absolutely, always. That's what, and I give him credit for that.
Look,
but never
he has
won.
the same problem that Sami Zayn has right now. He's always been number two to the first fiddle.
Number two.
Number two. Chris Jericho has never been the number one guy,
Ju-
but he's always been the number two, at least
He
number
was
two.
not the number 2.
What?
He was not the number 2.
Yes, it was.
First of all, when he came, I saw it because the guy probably has the best entrance to the WWE ever. I'll tell you that. No,
Sami Zayn.
no, Chris Jericho, the debut.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw it. I watched that thing back over all the time. It's like the countdown and thing was amazing. The guy came in 1999.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was around there. 98,
Somewhere in there.
The
99.
best entrance was Eddie Guerrero, bro.
No, and-
With
Bro, the
lowrider.
lowrider. Yeah.
Or
I mean,
JBL with his limousine and the Longhorn. And the
He
front.
was just born
What
at the
was,
wrong time.
what was oh boy, not Bret Hart, the other one that used to come in. He ended up dying.
Oh,
Chris Benoit.
No. He came in. He would come in
Owen
from the
Hart.
top of the stadium. Who was it?
Owen Hart.
Yeah. Like so. I mean, it's like that was a pretty dope entrance too. So
Or what about Andre the Giant, bro?
what about him?
What about him?
He could be like I put him over fucking Chris
No, but he
Jericho.
sucked on the sucked in the ring.
yeah, he was
Look,
more just for
Tell
the
me,
showmanship.
I saw this and I agree with this list.
No, because I remember different like top superstars, and Chris Jericho wasn't one of them. We're talking about Andre the Giant.
No, this is what you mean because I agree with you. Like, let's say we start from like Bruno Sammartino, right?
Okay.
That's the first guy.
That would be my
Are you
one of the
kidding
guys
me?
on my right. On my right. Because
So-
All right, let me go through this.
Okay.
This has been like the eras of the guys. We
Okay.
start with Bruno Sammartino.
Carlitos,
Then you move on to the Hulk Hogan,
okay.
right?
Ric Flair.
Ric Flair had the same problem Chris Jericho had. He was around the Hogan era, and he was not above Hogan. The guy, as long as Hogan was around, he was always the guy, right? And then it went on that little bridge where it was like Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels for a short period of time.
I wouldn't say that about Chris.
Shawn
Ric
Michaels.
Flair.
I wouldn't say that about Ric Flair. I would say that about Roddy Piper.
I was gonna say because I put Rowdy.
Ric Flair never
I put
had
Rowdy,
his time either because of Hulk Hogan.
I
What
put
was the guy with the sock?
Mankind, Big Foley.
No, and then that's
I
what I'm
would say
saying.
that about McFoley as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels had a little bridge, right?
I never understood why he was so good. He sucked in the video game.
Yeah, he did. He was like super slow and everything.
Slowing, right?
Bro, I remember watching him in Hell in the Cell against Undertaker.
Like, don't get me-
That was a
Like,
a
don't get me
badass
wrong,
match.
Like, for me, bro, what the best memories I have about wrestling was the video games.
Yeah, me too.
Like I would buy the video games religiously because they
Yeah.
were so fun.
Where I think the era of the guys, who were the guys, we start from Bruno Sammartino, go to Hulk Hogan, right? After Hulk Hogan, that little Bret Shawn Michaels era, which was probably a year or two, but those were the two guys.
Okay.
And then we start with this Rock and Stone Cold era, right? There's no denying that.
Yeah.
And that's when Chris Jericho came in. in that era, and he was not above those guys, not close to those guys.
Not in the cards. No.
Yeah. So until 2003, 2000, when The Rock leaves, 2004.
That's when John Cena comes in.
That's when John Cena comes in. So Chris Jericho's not above John Cena. And John Cena stayed there till 2000, what, 10, 11?
Yeah.
12? And that's where this guy's era starts.
Not really.
Not exactly there, but he's the next guy, right? So it's like, when was Chris Jericho's era? Where he was that guy never happened.
But going against what your argument is, so are we discussing the guy, like the face of that era, or are we talking about who is our GOAT? Because there's a whole bunch of guys that were not the face of certain eras, but you could argue that they are somebody's GOAT. Like, they're in the discussion, like, okay, this guy could be the GOAT.
The GOAT has to check all the boxes. Those guys, all of them checked all the boxes.
But so that's where you and I disagree. I don't think that the GOAT has to have has to be the guy.
How is that not a? How is
If
that not a?
If he's not the guy, then how is he the greatest?
Yeah, like,
Because when I think of the GOAT, I think of everything that incorporates, like we just talked about.
yeah.
Now I don't put that on it, because then at that point you can't put Triple H on there.
I don't.
No, but
That's why I told you. That's why yours is wrong.
I would probably say it's so hard to off the top of my head. I would probably say Chris Jericho, Triple H, because I'm also thinking about the impact they've made on the business.
And Hulk Hogan.
No.
That's where you
As far as
started
the
with.
GOAT, I wouldn't put him at the top.
Bro,
I put him on my Mount Rushmore, but now
How much impact did Chris Jericho have? What impact is it that there's still
exactly.
there that now I'm like, oh yeah, that's Chris Jericho.
Impact on wrestling?
AEW. Now, you don't know what AEW is, but AEW wouldn't be AEW if he wouldn't have put that company on his back.
It's probably a sorry ass company.
That's what I mean. Wouldn't we know if he made that big of an impact? At least what it is.
Was it like ECW?
Did you know that Triple H made that big of an impact? Did you know that Triple H made
I know
NXT?
he made NXT, and yeah, I know that.
Would you have known it if it was any other company?
What?
Would you have known that he did that if it was AEW or if it was New Japan?
We're talking
if it
about
was
hypothetical. I'm just talking about what really happened. I don't know if what I would have known or not, but I'm just saying what I do know. But again, I don't put Triple H up there because Mount Rushmore means 4 guys. Has there been more than 4 guys who made contributions? Absolutely.
Okay.
But who made the most contributions? There's no way you put any Mount Rushmore and the 2 guys that made WWE mainstream aren't on it. It was a mom and pop shop.
But to me, Mount Rushmore doesn't have to mean GOATs.
Then what does it mean?
No, because so Mount Rushmore is a more like your favorite, because I feel like Mount Rushmore is going to be your more nostalgia, like what hits home with you. Because on my Mount Rushmore, I'm throwing fucking Roddy Piper on there, and it's like, but he was never considered the GOAT or anything like that. He was always has Hulk Hogan over him, but I mean, he's on my Mount Rushmore.
To me, for me, what I say Mount Rushmore is the best 4.
Yeah, that's what
Okay.
when people say.
Okay. So then let's put different types of Mount Rushmore. So to me, Mount Rushmore means impact to the business. But if I put Mount Rushmore 1, impact to the business.
So who's your Mount Rushmore? Impact to the business, right?
Impact to the business.
Yeah.
Bruno Sammartino,
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan,
Yeah.
without putting Vince McMahon on there, obviously.
Wait, there's another good point. Yeah.
Oh shit, yeah.
Triple H.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
You just left off The Rock or Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Okay, The Rock.
How?
The Rock.
How did Triple H make a bigger impact? Again, Stone Cold took it mainstream. He turned it Hollywood.
Okay, I put Rock on there.
No, but so did Stone Cold. Stone Cold was above The Rock, probably. Only that's why they made such an impact, because that was probably the only era they had 2 freaking monsters, 2 superstars. They had 2 number ones. And
look, I'll switch it up. I'll put Steve Austin on there, and I'll take Bruno Sammartino off. That's because you're not wrong when you say that. To me, The Rock and
Stone
Cold, and Triple H got WWE out of the
Triple
Monday
H.
Night Wars. Yeah, Triple
At
H.
that time? Now you mean?
No, Triple H was
He was good, but he was not with those two. At that time?
no, not at that time, but they were the ones that got the Triple H mostly, and these Generation X were the ones that won the Monday Night Wars.
Yeah, I guess. But anyways, we're going to keep talking about this the next couple of weeks because, again, we're going to be doing some previews and things for WrestleMania.
Apparently, we're wrestling nerds now.
We're Wrestling Nerds. Kids, please follow. Please like, please subscribe so you can see all the content. Thank you, Josh, for coming.
I appreciate you guys having me, man. It was
Open
a lot of fun.
invitation.
Appreciate the advice.
Yeah, man, for sure. I definitely
It
anytime.
was great advice. Just want to let you know it's probably not going to work.
Well, if y'all,
His goal is Chris Jericho, bro. He has no saving.
oh, that wasn't a comedy bit. I thought that's what we were doing this whole time. This is not a sketch. Oh, no, but yeah, man. Anytime y'all want me back, man, I'm always down.
Where can we find you? Where can the viewers find you?
So I'm pretty much I only really use Instagram for the most part. You can find me Josh Classic Comedy. I usually post everywhere I'm gonna be at on there. I'm working a comedy festival this upcoming week, Thursday through Sunday. I don't know when this will be out.
Tomorrow.
It'll be out tomorrow.
Be out tomorrow. So the 23rd through the 26th, the bar that I work at is putting on a 4-day comedy festival called the Riot Comedy Festival. Everybody get
4 days?
4 days.
Get
Hey, get tickets. I want to say individual tickets start off at like $25 for like
we know you, right?
No. I unfortunately don't get to run that part of it, but no, it's definitely worth getting like the all-day pass, so this way you can see multiple shows. There's gonna be food, drinks, all kinds of stuff. Definitely worth checking out.
4 days, right? So
Yeah.
you should have one.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Thanks, man. Anything y'all want to say?
No.
We're good. All right. Please like, subscribe. Thank you for all the comments. We didn't have time. We went off on a tangent. We didn't have time to read a comment, but thank you. Keep them coming.
Oh, I have it if you want to read it right now.
No. The Russian ones. Thank you, man.
Oh, for real.
Appreciate you. Back at you, homie.
Whatever you said.
Back at you. Thank you.
Mother Russia. Fuck Ukraine.
Peace.
Peace.